Good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HA Network. Frank Granito in studio with Kevin Coleman this afternoon as we get set to get our first real preview of the fall season. Kev, we got a big show coming up today.
And it may be June, but we're really getting ready for the fall season. And I think a lot of people around this area are getting really excited for Friday Night Football and just in general here back in the FCI for the fall season. And I'm excited. I think we're all excited to get back on the field and get some football back in us.
Well, you can't talk about FCI football without one of the big names in the conference, and that is Marinelli. And we are blessed to have head coach of the Greenwich Cardinals, John Marinelli, on the line with us now. Coach, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hey, the lesser Marinelli, but yeah, thanks for that. How are you guys doing today?
You are the trending Marinelli right now. You're on the way up, and your dad's still trying to figure out how to beat the Blue Wave in the 2010s here.
Don't let him hear you say that.
Exactly. All right, Coach, we're doing great. Let me start before we get to Grip It and Rip It, which is coming up next week. You guys just wrapped up spring football in the past couple weeks. Year 3 for you at Greenwich now. Let's talk a little bit about what you saw this spring with the Cardinals.
I saw kids that knew where to go. Our teaching and our fundamentals and all that, what we're trying to instill. Our juniors, are going to be juniors, have been with us now for 3 years. And so it's been great. It was obviously we're blessed in the state of Connecticut to have spring football. For the rules, we're blessed that our graduation date was later, so we can get in all of our dates and time between. So it was great for us. It was really good to be on the field, and we had a really good spring. We had a lot of kids out. We had over 100 kids, and so we're just we're fortunate to be in Greenwich, in a town that loves football, and we're fortunate to be in a state that hosts spring football.
And that's really what it comes down to there. You talk about the numbers that Greenwich had. Obviously one of the bigger programs and bigger schools in the entire state, but spring football, more of a teaching time of year, and to have those kind of numbers out, and it's always fun. You had the red and white game, which we saw had a nice finish too, so that's a great spring for you guys. Now you carry it into the summer. Aside from Grip It and Rip It, what are the plans for the Cardinals? What other tournaments do you guys have in line or clinics that you'll be working on this season?
Well, our kids wanted to go to a couple events, so I think they're going to Fordham this weekend, I believe, and we have Grip It and Rip It at New Canaan, and then one of the Massachusetts events that they put on there. And I think that's it for us. I mean, last year they did so many, and I kind of wanted to take it back a little bit more, get more focused on the weight room and our speed and strengthening program. So I think that's more of our focus this year, is joining together with the linemen in the weight room and doing less 7-on-7s and things of that nature. So more stuff together, more team bonding, a lot of different things that we're doing here in-house. So it'll be a good summer.
Coach, you just mentioned team bonding. How important and how key is it, especially at this time of day, at this time of the year? You're finishing up spring football, and you got Grip It and Rip It coming up. What else are you doing to get that team bonding, get that team chemistry going for the fall season?
Well, I think first and foremost you have to set it in a weight room. I know a lot of teams do that, but not many teams had over 85 kids show up for speed and agility at 6 a.m. on on June 27th, yesterday. So, and those are things that we're doing differently. And we're just making it fun. We're making it about playing the sport that they love, and our training programs are big and they're well attended. And aside from that, we're bringing in outside speakers and to talk about a number of different topics, life topics, not just football. And try to get the kids to do more things together. And I think 7-on-7s are bonding. The unfortunate part is they only get to bond with kids that play a similar position or a skill position, and the linemen kind of feel left out. So to try to do more things together, I think that's going to be our goal this summer, and to keep it fun. Not do football lists all the time, but throw a soccer ball out there and let them play that. Do a little 3-on-3 basketball tournament, dodgeball tournament, those kind of things that you can kind of throw in there. Just to get the competitive level up there and keep the fun level high.
And you talk about that fun level, the bonding that comes with 7-on-7, and I couldn't agree more. Let's shift gears here and focus a little more on Grip It and Rip It. I believe this is the 10th annual tournament you guys will be hosting at New Canaan. A little bit smaller field this year because of the construction process going on at New Canaan High, but still a very talented and deep tournament field here that you guys have assembled, John.
Yeah, we tried to get programs that have supported us over the years, and I think it's the 11th actually. And it's one of those things that some of these teams have been with us for 9-10 years, and we wanted to just that was important to us. I think we're all high school teams and coaches, and to be able to bring those teams in that have been supporting for the event for so long, it just says a lot about the area and the football, the way it's progressing in this area. So we're excited about it. We have 16 really good teams, really good programs, and we're excited to host them. I think it's going to be a great day, a fun day. We're changing the format a little bit so teams can get a little bit more reps in and almost play everybody depending on how it falls. But it'll be a fun day, fun 2 days, and that part never changes. It's a 2-day tournament, one of the only ones in this part of the country, and falling in line with the Texases and the Californias and Floridas, the way they run and operate their events. So I think it's going to be a great day, great 2 days, and I think that we have a lot of good talent going to be there as well. So it's going to be, I think there's going to be a showcase of talent and coaches and all that there, so it'll be fun.
Oh, I mean, you talk about the talent levels. You've got at least 4 Connecticut programs who are coming off of a state championship appearance. You can even add more to that who made the state tournament. You've got prep schools like Brunswick coming back, and, of course, out-of-state Stepinac, Sleepy Hollow. Shenandoah always does such a great job of showing up. So, I mean, the tournament field, you can't speak enough to the consistency you guys have built now in bringing back these top-tier programs. But as a director, John, and someone in a supervisor position versus being a coach at this tournament, what do you want to see the teams get out of this?
It's about building sportsmanship, building sport, and hopefully that each team that comes can bond a little bit on their own. I mean, that's the theme, is team bonding. If you go to 7-on-7s, you want to work on skills. Obviously, some guys want to win, but at the end of the day, you want to see the sport get built. You want to see kids being put in situations where they're not used to being in, especially if you have a young team and you're trying to get some kids some reps and see them fight adversity a little bit. And 7-on-7 gets a bad rap by some of the older coaches that have been around the game for a while because it's not quote unquote real football. But this is as real as it's going to get until you put pads on. There's no way to simulate the different kind of looks and the all the different defenses and offenses that you can possibly face, the different route combinations and all that. I mean, that's what you're really going for, seeing how young kids can, fight through adversity when they're winning and losing and all that and above, and how their teammates, talk to each other, how they communicate. All that is, you're going to find your leaders. You're going to find the kids who kind of, want to hide under a rock. I mean, you find out everything you need to know about your players in a 7-on-7 based on the situations they see. So we love it, and that's what we're looking forward to see at all the teams. And we're friendly with all the coaches. We want these guys to come back every year. We like seeing them. We enjoy their kids. They're all really well-coached teams, great high-character teams, and I think that follows in their, the programs that they're in with the coaches that are running it. So, we love it top to bottom.
Coach, you just mentioned it's as real as it's going to get. But is there something you want to see your team work on the most during this Grip It and Rip It tournament?
Me personally, I don't even watch my guys. So, I mean, it's I hope that they're together. I hope that, they bond. I hope that they face adversity, and I hope that they handle themselves the right way. And I hope that our leaders, come to the forefront of it when things aren't going well, to be the glue and the rock of the team. And when things are going well, I hope that they bring everybody kind of back down to the pack a little bit and understand that it's, just one game or just, one instance at a time. And so for me, just having them be all together in a competitive atmosphere is what we're really looking to do. And the tournament provides that.
Well, it certainly seems like things are starting to really go well down in Greenwich. You guys are coming off a state playoff appearance. Obviously, not the goals you set for your squad, John, but You're doing a great job with this program now. You get closer and closer to that opening game at Trumbull. What's your message to the team as you guys go through this offseason?
Just keep maturing, and keep showing up, keep being accountable. A lot gets talked about opening day and wins and losses, and not much gets talked about what football coaches actually do, which is, teach the game of life. I mean, we're trying to get kids to show up on time, be accountable, and that stuff to me is way more important. We finished the year strong. We had a pretty good team GPA, and we got to get better at everything other than football. I think football takes care of itself. When you build athletes, the student athlete, I think that's ultimately what coaches are trying to do, and specifically football coaches, I think, do a great job of keeping their kids accountable. So I mean, that's our goal at Greenwich, and that's how we're going to build it. We're going to build it the right way. The blueprint of the New Canaan program that I came from, lived in. So it's when you do things the right way, good things happen to you.
Now, Coach, you were able to work with Connor Langan this past couple of years. Talk about what that experience was like, and what was your message to him during his senior year, and just talk about what it's going to be missing from a great player like Connor Langan next year.
You lose a ton. I mean, he was just a raw athlete, and he's the ultimate team player, the ultimate game day warrior. He never wanted to come out. He never, he was so emotional on game day. He was everything you want in one of your senior leaders. And, he really wore his heart on his sleeve. It's going to be impossible to replace him, what he brought to the game. I think we had a good one coming up, and Connor did a great job of mentoring and tutoring, Gavin Muir, who I think is going to be a pretty good quarterback. And, it's a lot of credit to Connor and the senior class that's leaving, because they did a great job mentoring the younger classes. And that's just another part of developing a program, is when you have older kids that are taking ownership of their program and their team, and they're working with the young kids. That's what I'm going to miss most about Connor, is that he worked with everybody. It didn't matter who you were. He worked with everybody, specifically Gavin, and those two had a great relationship and continue to have a great relationship.
And Gavin Muir, we expect, will definitely be in contention for that starting spot next year. We saw him a little bit last year, but I'm more concerned, Coach, that you lose a player like Tyler Ferris, who became notorious for really embracing the neon look that you've brought to Greenwich. Who's going to be the next guy to step up and bring on that swag role now?
That's a good question. I think this senior class is much more low-key. I think everybody will be wearing the same undergarments and socks. But Tyler brought a different level of focus on game day into practice. I mean, he turned it on. He was incredible. And he's just another example of the seniors that we had that worked with everybody. And it would be interesting to see. I know Gavin likes his swag, and a couple of the other guys do. We'll see. Jeremiah Harris is back. I know Tyler had a big impact on him, and J.L. Negron. So we'll see.
Right,
you never know until it's game day. all the undergarments come out, and the half sleeves and all that stuff, and you got to kind of. Tyler, we let kind of do whatever he wanted, because he looked pretty good doing it.
I'm not going to argue that one.
Coach, I got to ask my final question. What kind of swag are we looking at this year, this fall? Because we got to see some sweet gear you brought into the Greenwich football program. What can we expect this fall from you guys?
It's always a game-to-game basis. Who knows?
A little bit of surprise.
We'll let you guys. I'll tell you what. We'll bring out the new gear when Hand Networks was doing one of our games.
I was going to say, don't spoil the surprise yet, but there's a strong chance we could be at McDougal Field on September 10th. So,
well, hope to see you guys there. Everything you guys do for area sports and what you guys are doing to showcase coaches and athletes, it's incredible, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. And you guys do such a great job. So. Thank you for all you do for area sports.
Thank you, Coach.
We appreciate the kind words, Coach, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week at the tournament. Enjoy the holiday weekend. We can't wait to see you and the Cardinals back out there on the field.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was Johnny Marinelli, the head coach of the Greenwich football team. A lot of fun always catching up with Coach, and we really got to know especially the captains for the Greenwich football team last year when you look back at working with Wishkid, Ben McFadden. So it's been a fun program to really get to know a lot more since Coach Marinelli took over, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
They are. This is going to be a young team too, Frank, and I think I'm glad that we got to talk about a little about Connor Lang, because he deserves to talk about what he's meant to this Greenwich football program, and it's on the rise. And I think a player like that can make young players want to look up to him and want to play football in Greenwich. So it's unfortunate he won't be on the sidelines for the Cardinals next year, but we know he's going to do work at Dickinson.
Absolutely. Well, we will get our first look at the 2017 Greenwich Cardinals when the HAN is live at Dunning Field next week for Grip It and Rip It. When we get back from the break, John Kovac is going to join us, and we're going to dive into that coverage a little bit more as we preview the passing tournament right here on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
Celebrate summer with fresh, made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. DockShop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Drive and Discover event. Now through June 30th.
We are back on Nutmeg Sports on the HA Network. Thank you again to John Marinelli, head coach of the Greenwich Cardinals football team, for coming out and talking with us as we get ready for our coverage of the Grip It and Rip It passing tournament next week. Kev, we've got some highlights from last year's tournament that we're going to run right now, and I just want to go through with you what we expect to see over this weekend, what we're looking for as we get closer and closer to those Friday night lights that first week in September.
Yeah, I'm excited for this Grip It and Rip It tournament. It's going to be my first time really getting to experience this. It's going to be fast-paced, and I think that's the one thing that sticks out to me the most. You start at the 40-yard line, and I think the one thing is just to see how the chemistry is right now between quarterbacks and the wide receivers.
And you're right, the fast pace is something they're very focused on this year. You're not going to see teams like a Fairfield Ward or that old school West Haven style at these tournaments where they're trying to run it down your throat. These are the spread teams around the state, so you're going to see quarterbacks in sync. They're going to try to catch defenses off guard. And for me, what I look for is, what do the routes look like? I want to see how crisp they are out of the routes. What is that timing like now as guys are really stepping up? Because when you think about high school football, especially in a state like Connecticut, it's not a dynasty-type league. You might have programs that go on long runs, but you're not looking at classes that have got starters sophomore, junior, and senior year. It's a new group of kids now who are stepping up and looking to leave a mark with their legacy.
Right, and that, I think the Greenwich football program is something that's a good example because they lose a huge senior class. And, I mean, a lot of these schools are losing big senior classes. New Canaan's one of them as well. But, just to see right now, as we're, hitting right into July now, this tournament's going to, it's going to show, how these quarterbacks can do. They're not really under pressure, but how can they do in the pocket? They're going to have. They can't spend a lot of time in there. They have to make sure they're, on the right page with their wide receivers. And, I think another thing too. We talk a lot about the offense. What about the defense? So you just see a interception right here. Are the D-backs going to be on the same page? Are they going to be able to read the same routes? It really is going to be fun to see, and it's just such a cool thing that this area is doing, because I think we can all agree at this level, it's all about repetitions. And I think once you get that, especially at this part, right before Hell Week in August, this is huge.
It is, and we'll see FCX schools that include Fairfield Ludlow under new head coach Mitch Ross. Get our first look at the Falcons. Stanford Black Knights will be there. St. Joseph's, who just dropped down to Class S, coming off a Class M state championship appearance, will be there. You'll have the Norwalk Bears, as well as defending state champions Darien and New Canaan, getting our first look at the defending number 1 and 2 teams in the state. Greenwich, of course, will be there as well. So there are a lot of big storylines. How does Gavin Muir step up, fill that role of Connor Langen? What is this Darien class going to look like? Right. Are we potentially going to see an FCX dark horse? Maybe Ludlow's about to make a run. St. Joe's, can they continue off their success? And you get to see your boy Drew Pine again for the second year now.
Not bad. You get to see Drew Pine. I think, for especially Drew Pine, I think you're going to see how calm, cool, and collected he is in the pocket. And that part of it's going to be a great experience for everyone, not just us, but I think all the people who are going to go and watch this, even on the HA network that we're going to have it on. But you're right, Darien, what is this class going to be like? What's this roster going to look like this year after, again, another team with a huge senior class that's gone now? Can these younger guys step up as they move into their senior, junior, sophomore years? So that's a big question. I think, you look at this Darien team, yes, I think they're still going to be stacked, but that's a big question mark right now on their backs.
The win streak sits at 25 for the Blue Wave. We will see if they can continue that one on. Our coverage next week will begin at 2 p.m. on Friday afternoon. There will be 4 rounds of play Friday afternoon for 4 different divisions, each featuring 4 teams, which makes up our 16-team field. We'll be live when New Canaan, Daniel Hand, Norwalk, and Brunswick are in action. We'll get to see, rising senior quarterback Nikki Henkel for the Bruins out of the Brunswick School. That covers will go on until 3 o'clock. We are back then on Saturday afternoon, 12:30 through 2:30, as we have got quarterfinal, semifinal, and championship coverage right here on the HAN network. It will definitely be a very fun day. Kev, let's step aside one more time. We mentioned before St. Joe's switching classes. They'll be shrinking down to Class S. We're going to break down all 15 schools that are moving around the CIAC coming up after the break on Nutmeg Sports.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro, specializing in authentic wood-fired brick-oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat, and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality, and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com, and like us on Facebook.
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office. Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We are back on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network as we are going to take a look now at the CIAC realignment as 15 schools have shifted classes for the upcoming 2017 football season, as we have a graphic here for you. demonstrating which schools have switched. And Kev, two schools that obviously jump out right away. You've got St. Joe's, which is going from Class M down to Class S, and Hill House Academy going from Class M up to Class L. Those were two teams that played in the Class M championship last year. Hill House was in Class L for a while, so they are back up there. I think they can be very competitive in a class that's been won by New Canaan for the past few years. St. Joe's in Class S could get very interesting. I would love it if we got to see the cadets match up with Ansonia, potentially in a championship. One team, though, that I think benefits the most out of all of this, and we could see make a big splash now in Class M, the Harding Presidents.
I agree. I think the Harding Presidents are a hardworking team. I think you look down at Class L. How about Farmington? They're in now. And I think that's a team that I think, you look across, over towards that middle part of the state. This is a good football program over in Farmington, so that's an interesting move that kind of sticks out to me. But yes, St. Joe's, moving to Class S, I think that's a good fit for them. After, having a great successful year in Class M, they move up, and I think it's going to be a great fit for them. Question is, can they live up and see how they do in Class S? It's going to be much more competitive, obviously, but I think this is St. Joe's team that has a great coaching staff, and I think this is a good move for them.
Torrington into Class M is another interesting one there, and you've also got Bunnell and Woodstock, along with Abbott Tech, that join Class L. Of the schools that fall into Class L now, specifically Bunnell, Hill House, do you think they become the top contender to compete against the Rams, or is there another school already within the division that stands most likely to hang there? Obviously, Massac gave them a good run last year. Notre Dame West Haven is a program on the rise, but still the Rams reign supreme in Class L.
I like Notre Dame West Haven a lot. I like how Hill House is in this now. I think this is a team that can give the Rams some trouble. Bunnell, yeah, I think those are two teams that are going to show a little bit different look to the Rams next season if they get a chance to play them in the state tournament. But out of those two teams, I think it's going to be Hill House that really gives them a run for their money.
And to give you an idea of where New Canaan stands, the enrollment for Class L, 672. New Canaan is the largest school in Class L. They are currently at a class size of 651.
Ooh, close.
So just 20 off the jumping line should they try to move up, which I think we could see in the next couple of years.
I think we will too, and I think a lot of people, especially around the FCIAC, would love to see New Canaan get into Class L because you always got that little opportunity, maybe that they'll face the blue wave there if the two of them get to face off in a state championship game.
It would certainly be a big state championship game. We've seen it before in the past as they split Turkey Bowls back in 2013 and 2014 as Darien won Turkey Bowl and New Canaan won state. Of course, back in 2008, you remember that New Canaan won both FCIAC Turkey Bowl split game and the state championship over their rival Darien twice in a 9-day span. There is one other piece of news out of the FCIAC today. Greenwich High has named a new girls soccer coach. It will be Danny Simpson will be replaced by Simon Rumbold. Just very quickly, Kev, your thoughts on this. We're going to have more tomorrow. But before we head out today, you're replacing a coach who had a very great tenure over his 12 years, including 4 conference championships. You
talk about those 4 conference championships. I think this is going to be a big loss, but I think at the same time, he moves over, and I think you look at this new coach coming in. It's you definitely hitting the refresh button, but Danny Simpson is going to go down as one of the top girl coaches in soccer in Connecticut history, I think. And you talk about the records, the countless appearances in not only state but conference playoff tournaments. So a great resume that he's built up for himself over at the Greenwich High School girls soccer program. Excuse me.
One more Nutmeg Sports left in the month of June. July is going to be a lot of fun. We, of course, have got Grip It and Rip It. Then we've got the regionals for the Babe Ruth 14 and under division here in New England. That'll be at Trumbull High School at the end of the month. The HA Network has got live coverage of that as well. For Kevin Coleman, I'm Frank Granito. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock, but of course at 11 a.m., get your coffee break with Kate Chaplensky.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.